we are seeing that the three gunas Krishna is starting to explain now. First, he has given us what is the common denominator for the three gunas. The common factor for the three gunas is they bind and they are from the same source. Prakriti is the source. This is common for sattva, rajas, tamas. Then he is going on to explain how sattva manifests and how it binds. What is sattva and how they bind. That's what we are seeing. Verse number 6. Of these means of the three gunas, sattva being stainless is luminous and healthy. It binds through attachment to happiness and attachment to knowledge. Anaga. Anaga is another name for Arjuna. Because in the entire Mahabharata story, very difficult to find a character who is stainless. See, faultless character is almost impossible to find. Because every character you will find a fault. In Ramayana, exactly opposite. Very difficult to find, wrong action. Because nobody is wrong there. Everyone is correct. Don't accept the villain. Only Ravana is the only character where you can find fault. Kumbhakarna, you can't find fault. Vibhishna, you cannot find fault. No. Indrajit, you can't find fault. His son, Ministers, you can't find fault. No. You will not be able to find fault with any one of these characters. Okay, to some extent, you can find fault with that, character. His sister. What's her name? Surpanag, correct. Surpanag. There also you can't say actually she is at fault. Strictly speaking, you can't say she is also at fault. But in Mahabharata, it is very difficult to find a character. In such a scenario, to be called as Anaga, sinless, is something extraordinary, I tell you. Is a great thing to see that. So Arjuna says, Arjuna of this Sattva Guna is stainless. Like you say, that's indicated. What he is indicating is, Arjuna, you are a sattvic fellow. That's an indication. Sattva Guna is stainless. You are sinless. Therefore, you are a sattvic fellow. Understood that is. But it binds. To what it binds is the interesting part. It binds to happiness. It binds a person to that Sukha Sanketa. Attachment to that Sukha. That joy. The joy that you derive on your own. Not because something is happening. Something is contracted. Something is achieved. That is not Sukha. See, that's not joy actually. That is just a temporary cessation of agitation. That's all it is. There's the happiness that we derive from something happens in the world. Ceasefire happens, now you are happy. Violated, no? There are people other way. Ceasefire unhappy. Ceasefire violated, very happy. Now is a good chance, sir. That's how we identify what is the state of a person. Sattvic, first you should be able to derive that happiness. The sattvic happiness you should get attached to, not any happiness. Remember, you have happiness in anything, and everyone is attached to happiness. You ask anyone for what you are doing, anything, you are doing everything only for joy, for enjoyment only. Like some say, one person picks up a cigarette and smokes. He gets a joy out of smoking. Another person returns smoking. So one fellow seeks cigarette joy, another fellow abstaining from cigarette joy. So either case, everyone is moving towards happiness only. But where sattva binds you is sattva binds you to a particular happiness, not any happiness. Any happiness, now all of us can claim. All of us are sattvic. No. Sattvic happiness binds you to what? It binds you to that sukha that is derived not from any one of these things by itself. What sukha that is? Dropping desires. Dropping the desires. When you drop your desire, as a result of that, there is a sukha. In renunciation, there is sukha. In giving, there is sukha. Right. We have sukha only in taking or exchange. I give something, you give something. Obviously, I should give less, you should give me more. Understood that is. Right. You go and buy a shirt. When Dhamaka sale, 80% discount. How can someone sell you 80% discount? You must be crazy. Charity are doing this. Suppose if a fellow were to be doing actual charity, he should give it free, no? Why he is saying, 20% also? Either give it free or you charge. Man. What is the, give you discount, 80% discount for you. 80% discount that he is giving means what? In the 20%, he is having a profit of 40%. Only then he can afford to give you 80% discount. All the time discount. 365 days discount. We had that, no? One shop here, brand factory. Near that on Hosur Road I've seen. It's not there now.
Many branches.
I see. That particular one I saw because I traveled in the road after I don't know how many years. Maybe about 7-8 years I came that site recently. I'm searching because that's my location, reference point always. Searching for that, it's gone. What is it? How can you give 365 days, discount? And people go and buy that. Sukha, happiness is what? No, it's just giving. In renunciation, there is a joy in renunciation. There is a joy in forbearance, kshama, forgiveness. There's a joy in forgiveness. Only a sattvic person will be able to enjoy that. Now, most of us, when you forgive, also, what is it? With resentment, you forgive, not out of joy. Forgiveness doesn't produce a joy in you. You don't celebrate it. If you are forgiven, you celebrate it. See, you make a mistake, somebody forgives you, you are very happy about it. Let's say you go to God and ask for forgiveness. Please forgive me. He forgives you, which means you are the benefactor. You are getting the benefit of somebody's forgiveness. You are receiving again. You are not giving. When you give forgiveness, there you should be able to derive joy out of it. That joy is so refined and so fine, so cultured. Sattva gets attached to that. You get attached to that sukha. Amazing. But the problem is you should experience that joy first. See, that's the difficulty thing for all of us. And then he says it is also has another dimension, which is getting attached to knowledge. The joy of just learning, knowing something. The joy of learning, that's it. Sukha and jnana. Rajo will say. Rajas, verse 7.
रजोरागात्मकं विद्धि कृष्णासङ्गसमुद्भवम् तन्निबध्नाति कौन्तेय कर्मसङ्गेन देहिनम् रजोरागात्मकं विद्धि कृष्णासङ्गसमुद्भवम् तन्निबध्नाति कौन्तेय कर्मसङ्गेन देहिनम्.
Know rajas to be of the nature of passion, the source of thirst and attachment. It binds fast to Kaunteya, the embodied by attachment to action. Verse 6 was discussing about the Jnana Shakti. Every human being has this three aspects are there. Power to know, power to act, the power to exist. This is known as Jada Shakti. Jada Shakti is tamas. Kriya Shakti is rajas. Jnana Shakti is sattva. So first he explained about sattva. Now he is coming to what is this rajas. This rajoguna, the source of that is what? Ragatmakam. It is of the nature of passion, raga. And usually we include raga and dvesha to the heard in mass, together. The dvesha is not included here. Only raga is included. Because dvesha is more to do with tamas. See, the hatred is to do with tamas. Rajas is the passion, raga, the desire, liking. And what is the source of that? He says there are two sources for that. There are two sources for this passion. So from where that desire comes, that raga comes, he says, is Krishna Sangha Samudbhava. That Udbhava, the source, the starting point, the fountainhead of Rajas, which is passion. What is the source for that? It has two sources. One is Krishna, another one is Sangha. Krishna means thirst. Sangha means attachment. Not Buddha's, Sangam. Sangam Sharanam Gacchami, he says, no. Don't say, oh, Buddha is asking all of us to get attached. Means association. In a way, correct actually. Yes. Because You have to get attached to the higher to get detached from the lower. So he says, get attached to the higher. Because you can do only one thing, that is getting attached. You cannot get detached. That's not possible. Detachment cannot be attained by I decided today. From today, I'm going to get detached. By decision, you cannot. That is not possible. One fine day morning, you can't say, from today, I'm going to be detached. You can't decide. It has to be happening in you. You can't create it. But what you can do is, you can consciously get attached. Attachment is possible. So when you get attached to one, automatically it means you are detached from the other. That's a law. If you are attached to one, means you are detached. A girl who gets attached to a boy automatically gets detached from her family. Now you can't do anything. To her, if you keep a choice between your family and the boy, she says what? Boy, full stop. Love Allah, don't think this is called love. It simply means attached. That's all it means. You are attached to one side. Whether it is right, wrong, Allah, it is independent thing. Depends on, we don't know. Is he a good boy? First of all, you should be a good girl. A good girl will get attached to a good boy. Bad girl will get attached to whom? Bad will get attached to bad only. There's nothing great about it, please. You get attached one side. Suppose if the girl were to be attached to her family, then she gets detached from the boy. That's all it is. You get attached to one side means you are automatically detached from the other side. Or one side you are attached. So he says, attachment is the source. Then we have this another source, he says, is the Krishna, the thirst. Thirst means longing for something which is not there with you, which is not available to you, which is not accessible to you. See, what you do not have, longing for that. That's called Krishna. Sangha means attachment. Attachment, if I have to explain, I need to take the entire book. Holocaust of attachment. I can't do that. I can do, but you will not be there. We are doing in Sunday evening class, Holocaust of attachment. 7 chapters are there. 7 chapters are there in the book. How many classes? It's almost 1 year. Slightly more than 1 year over. We have come to, 6th chapter end. One more chapter is left out. Survey around 40 plus classes. That many hours is needed for me to explain attachment. No, can't do anything. Attachment means what, sir? Whatever you possess, when it leaves you, you are in void. See, that's attachment. Every one of us have got something or the other around us, whether it is material, physical, emotional, intellectual, whatever. In all those spheres, whatever you have, if it leaves, losing that, losing that object or being puts you in a condition of void. You suddenly feel your whole life has no meaning. Suddenly you will feel a sense of missing. That's called attachment. Right? In life, you are having only two things. Only two possibilities are there. There are objects and beings you don't have. Objects and beings you have. There are only two. You have, you don't have. For whatever you don't have, you long. Whatever you have, you get attached. That's Krishna and the Sangha. It puts you back, the attachment. Losing that, even the thought of losing, not that actually you have to lose it. It's not actually you lose it. The thought of losing it puts you in a state of void. Oh my God. What will I do? Can be anything. Can be simple thing like house. You live in a house, right? You shift. I miss the house. The house never misses you. Right? Somebody else have occupied. It accommodates that next person. It accommodates the next person. It accommodates the next person. Now, but you feel what? Missing. That means attached. So a lot of us have this issue, New place you go, you can't sleep. There are people, anywhere they'll sleep. That's another group. The next verse. Verse 8. Verse 8 category. Can't sleep there. Why? I miss. I've seen people, bringing their pillows to the academy. When I was studying, I was in charge of guests. The entire boys' hostel was in my control. So any guests come, only I have to receive them and take them and show them the room and all that. So they'll come and they'll wait near the office. I go, usher them to the rooms. While ushering, we got to assist them. So I say, I'll take your luggage. Some of them give the heavy suitcase to you. Some of them are good. They give the light one to you. So they give. They give heavy one, I drag. They'll say, no, give me. I'll lift it. I've seen people, bringing their pillows. The first, 20 times I told them, we give pillows to you. Don't worry. He said, no. I get to sleep only in my pillow. One fellow brought his mattress. Ashram. He brought, not joking, seriously. The fellow actually got this mattress. Only then he realized it will not fit in this cart. So he brought a king size one. Ours is, single. Then send it back. Attachment to mind. Can't just leave and get out. Wherever you go, you got to carry stuff. Everything you got to carry with you. That's why you will find, anyone, tomorrow you shift your house. I'm sure minimum 30% of things you will say, I don't need. Minimum. 30% of things you will say, I don't want it and go. Not that you have become detached. It's not out of detachment or anything, please. Only when you are trying to shift, that is the time you realize those things are there. You come and take something, although you will not know. Strange. then why you are keeping it? Then what's the point of keeping all this? Attachment. Because if it goes away, you know, if it leaves you, such a suddenly you'll feel that you have nothing. It's not the whole thing is leaving. It's just that small thing, casual ones. No, no, we'll take it. Later on, we will throw. Anyway, you're going to throw. Throw now, no. That's why we have the tradition in this country. Every year, we do the checking. In the north, they do it during Diwali time. In south, during Shankaranti. They check the house. Similarly, when a person dies, no trace of such a being existed in the house. Everything that that fellow has used would be packed and burnt. The whole thing will be burnt. All men carry the body to the cremation. Women in the house do what? What are they doing in the house? Now we think, we are cleaning the place because of so many dust. This. It's not that place. They are supposed to clean what? Nothing should remind you that fellow. Such a being existed. Fascinating system. What is not detachment? It's not worth getting attached to all that. In memory of him, memory of him. How many memories are there? Memory of him, memory of her. Keep things, accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Why do you go on accumulating such things? Vedanta says Krishna, thirst. Thirst is amazing. More you feed, more it will demand. Thirst. Thirst means Krishna means more you feed, more it will ask. Typically you can see this with people who are emotionally dependent. Right? Those emotional dependent people, when you see, they will always be seeking emotions from others, and you give them emotion. How much emotion if you give, how much attention if you give, they will be happy. Any amount of attention given to you, any amount of emotion given to you will not be enough for that person. You have to go on giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. Still that person will say what? Not enough. Ram Krishna says thirst. Physical thirst, when you are feeling thirsty, you drink water, it will get quenched. That also, if you drink Pepsi, Fanta, Sprite, those, carbonated water, and you drink, it doesn't quench the thirst. In fact, it will trigger more. It will appear to have quenched for a period, but then it makes you dehydrated and demand for water goes more actually. You have to drink more later. That is the technique of this. What is the success? Let's see. Sir, now this tender coconut water, 50 rupees they are charging, sir. You negotiate. One fellow said, go to that shop, they are selling Pepsi, negotiate and drink. One fellow, amazing guy. Tender coconut water. Yes. You go negotiate. He says 50 rupees. Nah, I'll take two. Give me for 80 rupees. Go and tell the same thing. Go to Pepsi. I'll take two bottles. Give me for 25 rupees. You'll say what? You don't have to buy. But can you? No. You just, you don't even understand what you're doing. More that water you drink, it makes you dehydrated and you have to drink more. And again, what will happen? More you drink, again it will dehydrate. But whole thing, what you are doing, you feel a sense of satiation, but actually it is not satiation. Vedanta Krishna says. Krishna, beautiful word. And Sangha. You just long for something. Longing. See, the longing can be for something tangible or something intangible also. You can be longing for something adrishta. Adrishta is intangible. Adrishta is not luck, please. Many of us take it as luck. No, adrishta means perceptible. Adrishta means imperceptible. Perceptible things and imperceptible things. Imperceptible thing is what? Heaven. I go to heaven. You do this, you'll go to heaven. Can you perceive it? There's no way that you can perceive. You cannot conceive, you cannot perceive, you cannot understand any one of those things. Only two options are there. Either you accept or you don't accept. You accept also not out of logic and reason. You don't accept also not out of logic and reason. Because you cannot logic and reason for the existence or non-existence of heaven or hell. Logically, can you prove there is heaven? Logically, can you disprove existence of heaven? Logically, you can neither prove nor disprove. That's called adrishta. Adrishta means which cannot be perceptible, not only just physical perception. Yes. Something which cannot be conceived, something which cannot be inferred, something which cannot be felt, something which is not available for seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, something which cannot be conceived by emotions, not by thoughts, inferential. You cannot infer something, nor can you directly perceive it. Such a thing is called adrishta. You can develop a trishna for that also. Adrishta also. It's not necessarily that you should be longing only for things which are known to you. You can long for things which is unknown to you also. Vedanta Krishna says that pressure of raga, that Krishna and Sangha develops that raga, that pressure of that raga forces you into action. That action can be proper or improper. It doesn't matter. We are not discussing about appropriateness of the action or inappropriateness of the action. Legal or ethical. Right. There was a time once, selling ganja and all is normal, not illegal. You know that? It was not illegal at a point. Later on, that became illegal. See, so legal, illegal is one aspect. Moral, ethical is another aspect. Now, we are not discussing about whether you do legal action, illegal action, legally illegal actions, moral, immoral, any action, whether it is an appropriate, proper action or improper actions. Any action that you do, those actions were forced by your raga. The source of that raga is two: thirst, attachment. You are carrying these two things. There is a thirst in you, thirst for the things that you are not having, and attachment towards the things that you have. So these two links develop into raga. That raga forces you to action. That force is called rajas. Follow? There is Krishna, there is Sangha. Put together creates raga. That, that raga forces you. The existence of raga, the presence of desire in you forces you to, compels you to act. Right? That compulsion is how it binds you to action. You cannot be quiet. You cannot keep quiet. You have to do something or the other. I'm going to retire. There's no such thing called retirement in life. Retirement from occupation is there. Earning your livelihood. You can retire from your earning level, but you can't retire from action. You will continue to act. Why? You have rajas. It will force you to action. What action you do varies. Selfish, unselfish actions and all that is a different equation. Depending upon what type of desire you have. See, what type of desire you have will decide all those things. But we don't care about it. So all of us do actions. All actions were backed by raga. What is that raga is backed by? Krishna and Sangha. So Krishna, Sangha, raga. Raga, karma. And you cannot not do karma. That's what earlier he said. Nahi kasya kshanamapi. Yatu tishtatya akarma. No being can be not doing in a state of inaction even for a split second, man. You will be acting. Why? Because of this desire. Desire will force you to action. And then he says very interestingly, yes, that's something.
This Krishna and Sangha, if I feel that thirst, doesn't it mean I'm passionate about it, so I'm feeling the thirst? How is it that these two lead to passion?
Repeat.
Krishna, if I'm feeling thirst for something, it is because I am passionate about it.
No, you are feeling thirst. Thirst you are feeling. About is decided later, not towards. See, you are passionate about work. Only 3M? Only Enron? You are working with Enron at one point of time. Then you moved on to SKF. Where is it? SKF. Passionately you are working for SKF. Passionately you are working for 3M. Passionately you are working for Enron. Passionately you are working for salary. Correct? Huh? You are passionate about what? No SKF or 3M or this one or that one. These are all, it's an appearance of what? I am so passionate about it. No, no, no. That thirst is there for something. You see, you are not feeling thirsty for Pepsi. You are not feeling thirsty for tender coconut. You are not feeling thirsty for room temperature water. Yes? He's waiting for something. I don't know for what. If you are thirsty, you are thirsty. For is decided later. See, there is an inherent thirst. And then comes the other aspects which decides, should I go for Pepsi? Should I go for tender coconut? I'll go for water. I'll go for RO water, I'll go for this what. It can be anything. You see, so you are possessing what is it? The thirst. There is a thirst in you. There is a longing. And then you plan and scheme and start believing that longing is going to be satiated through that particular object, particular being, particular relationship, particular achievement. You achieve it. Has longing gone? There was a time once you believed if you come first in the class, you are achieved, right? You have come first in the class also by mistake, right? Still, what has happened to that? Now that I have come first in the class, now I have to come first in the school. After you come first in the school, what happens? I have to come first in my district. Then I have to come first. Then I have to come first. I have to come first. I have to come first. Your longing is there for I have to come first. Full stop. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And the interesting part is, more and more you try to fulfill that. What is happening to that? Is it getting satiated or it is getting fed and it becomes more longing, more longing? It gets more deeper and deeper and deeper. That's the bondage. You see that? It forces you to act. You act. You achieve. Right? Once you achieve it, what you do immediately? Shift the goalpost. That's what you call as goal. What do you call as goal in life? Huh? Hope of achieving something in future. All your goals are nothing but what? Hope of achieving something in future. Future means what? 8:17 now. 8:18 is also future. Today is Sunday. Monday is also future. We are in the month of May. June is also future. 2025. 2026 is future. Right? You can go on and on and on. When you say future, which future you are talking about? 8:18, this. For each one of us, we genuinely believe that for a person who says this week, next week looks like a goal for him. Should be measurable, sir. Well, when you have a goal, no, you should be smart. Measurable. Enna measurable? See, I'm not saying it is wrong. Remember, anything you do, it is not going to satiate that thirst. That's all my point is. I'm not saying you do or you don't do. That is your problem. Right? That's why I said appropriate or inappropriate. Appropriate means what? A smart goal is an appropriate one. Sensible thing to do. And there are insensible things to do. But then, does the thirst go? No matter what you do, the thirst will not go. Have not gone. That's what you have attempted all your life. This is what the Upanishads call as Parikshalokan Karma Chitan Brahmano Nirvedamaya. Parikshalokan. Examine your own life. Examine what you have done. At every point of time, you genuinely believe this is going to be the end. Sir, once I have that, sir, everything is set. Once it is done, once the case is closed, that's it. After that, I have no problems. As soon as that gets over, next one comes. As soon as this gets over, next one comes. As soon as this one keeps coming again and again and again and again. It goes on and on and on. What is keeping it going on and on and on is rajas. You can beautify it by saying with any words. We don't care. That's why I said whether it is even ethical or unethical, proper, improper, doesn't make any difference. Legal, illegal. Just because you are doing something legal doesn't mean Krishna is not there. Krishna is still there. Just because you are all paying your tax. Why you are paying tax? TDS, sir, what to do? All salaried people pay their tax. Business fellows, if there is anything left out, we'll pay. And there is a CA you engage. For what? To ensure nothing is left out. So what is his job? So he can inflate or deflate. It doesn't make any difference. How much you want to pay tax, you tell me. Based on that, I will prepare your accounts. Legal, you can call it as tax planning. You can call it as tax evasion is different, sir. Tax planning is different, sir. You can say anything. Right? I'm not saying you should not do tax planning. I do know the difference between tax planning and tax evasion. What is that? Legal, illegal. That's all. Legally, you can go on asking for something and go on asking and asking and asking and asking and asking. We caught a fellow red hat, terrorist. Video. He's having a gun. He's shooting people. To punish him, it took 15 years. Why? Legal options are there. There's another case, 37 years. The fellow went on and on and on and on and on. Unbelievable. Legal. You can't say he's doing something wrong. Law is giving him that option. State is giving that option to him. He is exercising what is legally allowed. He says, I don't understand this language, therefore translate and give me in my language. Correct? For the translation will take how long? Another 6 months it will take, because it is 2,500 pages. 2,500 pages of English to be translated into other language. Suddenly lawyer comes and says, I don't understand that language. I understand only Hindi. Give me in Hindi. But he is arguing in English. He is speaking in the court in English. But he says, I don't understand English, so give me in Hindi. Law is giving that option, no. If he is asking, you are supposed to give. Again what to do? Again what to do? Again what you do? Again what you do? Legal. We are not discussing whether it is, these are all ethics, morals, legal, illegal, is not philosophy. We are discussing philosophy. See, all those discussions don't come under the purview of philosophy. Goes one step behind. We go one step behind that. So that's why this side, whatever is happening, we don't care. Many people take it as we are indifferent. It's not indifference, please. Because that's not the purview of this subject. Exactly like morals and ethics, legal, illegal. How do you judge that? Logically speaking, that's how it should be, no? Hmm? If every religion has freedom to practice, and state, we have declared that we are a secular government, which means government has no business in religion, then why are we having this Hindu Endowment Act? If Christians can group themselves together and create a church and maintain the church, maintain the properties of the church, maintain the accounts of the church, why can't Hindus form together and maintain a temple? Why should government come in there? Logically, one thing, right? But legally, you see that. See, this is not the purview of philosophy. Remember, this is where we have made a mistake today. We are switching into, where philosophy should be discussed, where morals, ethics, law, management, psychology. It's not that those subjects are not correct, remember, but is this person the expertise to discuss that? That is a question. See, logically, Ishwaran cannot say that. Correct? No. If you are secular government, then why are you doing here? That if they can maintain one church, why can't we maintain a temple? Which means you are doubting their integrity. This is what you are saying, no? Essentially, you are doubting these guys will exploit. If they can exploit, why can't they exploit? This is also human, this is also human, no? This will look fantastic. I tell you, it can trigger you, it can trigger anyone. That's not the job of philosophers. See, that's why we give the subjects are different. It's different dimensions. Legal aspects to be discussed separately. Morals and ethics needs to be discussed separately. Psychology should be discussed separately. It is a totally different subject. Management is a different field. Management is a different field. Training is a different field. See, now the problem is we are so mixed up with all that. We mix all these things and get confused. Now here we discuss only philosophy. Philosophy goes one step behind all this. Remember the sequence now. Lowest discussion with reference to human is training. HR training. There is a department, no? HR training. I say animals need to be trained, not humans. But do you mean to say that no training is required? Of course, this is required. But that's the lowest category. Slightly superior to that is management. Economics, management, and all that comes in that category. Training, lowest. Management, economics, and all comes slightly subtler than that. Subtler than that is psychology. Management, you can include all the law and all these things. Legal, all those things will come under the bracket. When you say management, all that is included. Subtler than that is psychology. Subtler than psychology is morals, values, ethics. Subtler than morals, values, ethics is philosophy, religion, spirituality. The sequence: training, management, psychology, ethics, philosophy. One word if you want to use. Of course, it has the spectrum, the broad spectrum I'm giving. These are all unnecessary confusions. So you go one step. different. It goes deeper. The grossest is training. You train them to do certain things, develop a skill. Training, that is. How to play tennis. You have to be trained. Anyone can't go there and start playing. Sports is a training. Music is a training. You need to train to play an instrument. Don't think training is useless. It has a role to play, but at what layer it plays a role? Muscle memory. Training equals muscle memory. You see, that's what the sportsmen use this terminology, muscle memory. Because at 22 yards, Brett Lee is coming and bowling at 140, 140, kilometer speed. In 22 yards, how long you will have the ball? Half a second. In half a second, you have to decide whether it is in swinger or out swinger. I'm just taking only one. You have to decide whether it is in swinger or out swinger. After deciding it is an out swinger, should you go for cover drive, extra cover drive, or leave? And you have to find a gap between the covers and extra cover for you to go. Should you go for lofted or should you go for ground? I'm thinking about it. Brickley will be coming for the next ball. By the time you are deciding what to do with the previous ball. No time for all that. Now, commentator will stand there and give a commentary. He knows exactly the position of the fielder. He doesn't remember anything. He sees leg moves automatic, the hand moves automatic, head comes to the position automatic. Everything is automated. It's not that consciously he's doing. But for him to get all that automatic in that split second, he has to practice for 20 years. 20 years of practice is needed. See, amazing. Hours together they have to practice. How to play that stroke, how to play that stroke, how to play that stroke. It's a training. It's needed in life. We are not saying it is all useless, remember. But it has a role to play that covers only that much ground. See, then comes something subtler than that. Then comes something even subtler than that. Most of us come up to values. And what is the difference between ethics, values, philosophy, religion, spiritual? Confusion. So those who are ethical take it as I am practicing philosophy. No. Ethics is not philosophy. So it's weird. Many find it difficult to understand. Philosophy is different. Unfortunately, they have included ethics as part of the study of philosophy. Aesthetics. Aesthetics has become part of the study of philosophy. Aesthetics. Because they don't know where to put it. Anything you cannot bracket anywhere, add all those things into philosophy. Why? By studying aesthetics, what are you going to achieve? MA philosophy. If you do, what will happen to you? Madurai Kamaraj University. I wanted to do. MA philosophy. I applied, I got it. Correspondence only. It's not that you have to go to college now, correspondence. I'm staying in Bangalore. Now, where will I go there and all? I can't do that. So I said, apply. So they had a class. I go to the classroom. One professor walked in. He's a HOD. He started shouting at me. You idiot. Why did you apply? Because they have decided to close the department. Right. Now that there is one fellow who has applied for it, they have to keep the department for that one fellow. And he convinced me to drop out. I said, okay, sir. I didn't drop out because of that. I dropped out because of the syllabus he told me. I say, either you call as philosophy. I said, I don't want that degree. It's not philosophy. Weird. That's where I shifted. I want to do that. Then I shifted to psychology. It's amazing to see that. Different subjects have different roles to play. Now, philosophy, we discuss one step behind. One step behind. So, behind the screen. Yes.
Krishna from knowledge. How is it different from the sattvic attachment to knowledge?
Other attachment.
How is it different? Like this is Rajasic Krishna for knowledge.
Krishna is Rajasic. For knowledge is Sattvic. You see that? Krishna, for knowledge, I told you again, define knowledge. Don't say, I'm studying this, I'm upscaling my things because of what? Otherwise, I lose my job.
It is subtle knowledge.
Then it is. But do you have the Krishna for subtle knowledge is the best. If you have that, that is, we call it as a different terminology. The word will change. It's not Krishna anymore. That will be called as Mumukshatva. You see, subtle knowledge.
But that is
What
also
knowledge?
attachment. That is also
Still attachment only.
Mumukshatva is also attachment.
Mumukshatva is also, Mumukshatva is not attachment. The thirst for a subtle knowledge cannot be equated as the same as the thirst for any other knowledge. This knowledge is different, which means you need to give a different name for it. What is the name you give for that? That's what we call as Mumukshatva. You see that? Because he is not interested in the knowledge per se. Which knowledge you ask him? He'll say Brahma Vidya. The subtle knowledge, and there's only one knowledge which is subtle. All other knowledge is not subtle. Rest are all gross. Brahma Vidya alone is subtle knowledge. When do you develop a thirst for it? Who will develop a thirst for that subtle knowledge? The one who has done a thorough investigation and examination. See, Sattva, forget it's no connection to you. You just understand Sattva means attachment to knowledge, attachment to happiness. That's all it is. Don't connect it to studying other gunas. Rajasically Sattvic, with the tinge of tamas will be there. What will you do then? You see, so when you are studying a guna, study that guna. Don't try to think another one here. It is thirst, longing. You have a thirst. Then we have to ask the question, do you have a thirst for a knowledge which is of no use to you? When you are come to Vedanta class also, you believe this knowledge has some use to you, no? If I give you 200% guarantee, this knowledge will be of no use to your life, how many of you will be there? It is of no use to you. You believe after this knowledge your life is going to be better. I say no. In fact, your life gets worse. With that knowledge, your life will be in trouble. You better don't gain it. Given a choice, I wouldn't. But unfortunately, you have to reach a point that's what Ramtirtha says. At Bayonet's point, you have to turn to this knowledge. No choice. You have to reach to that point, which is what Upanishad called as examine life. Pariksha Lokan. Examine life. After examining life, you long for something which is not connected to anything. No guarantee also. It's not the Upanishads gives you guarantee. Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita gives guarantee. No Upanishadic teacher gives you guarantee. Without any guarantee, will you go? Hmm? Imagine if I say that I'm going to do a special class. What's the topic, sir? I will not tell you the topic. I may do anything. You want to come, you come, or else don't come. I don't know how many of you will be there. You don't even know what I'm going to teach. Right? You have to. Wherever you go, first thing you'll be looking for is what? Certainty. To live in that uncertainty. How many of you will have a thirst to live in that uncertainty? That's sattva. You can't even understand that. Sir, how can someone have a thirst for? Then he must be psychologically off case, no? Isn't it? Imagine, I love to suffer in life. If a fellow says, what do you call it? Psychologically ill. But he is in absolute peace. It's an amazing combination. He lives that. So that's why I said, Sattva don't connect with Rajas. Rajas don't connect with Tamas. If at all you have to make a connection is only towards what? 2 points. The source is same. All 3 gunas bind. That's all. More than that, never do this mixing. Right? You will be in trouble. Unnecessary confusion. Yes. Sir.
You say about trainings of these things like philosophy, about spirituality, is it a practice and a subject of philosophy?
Spirituality is philosophy. Philosophy, spirituality, religion, same. All 3 same. There's no difference. What is religion? Practicalizing the philosophy is called religion. If you are having your own definition for religion, that is not my problem. You have to know what is religion is bringing the philosophy into practice. When you make the philosophy practical, that's called religion. Like science and technology. Technology is what? Practical. Science is not practical. There's directly what's the use of it? Directly it is of no use. But without science, no technology can exist. And science can't stand without technology. Science is independent of technology, but technology is never independent of science. Similarly, religion and spirituality is technology. Philosophy is science. So how do you make that philosophy Bring that philosophy to your life. The moment you come to the application aspect of it, it will no longer be used as philosophy, it will be used as religion only. Now, today we are having a negative terminology with reference to the word religion because of what? Because of your social unrest, because of your political problem. You see, because of your social and political issues, we have started refraining from using the word religion. So what to do now? We have to invent a new terminology. So we have invented a new word called spiritual. However, there's nothing but no. There's no such thing called spiritual. In a spiritual, they ask a person, okay, what is the difference between religion and spiritual? Hmm? What is the difference? I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual guy. What do you mean by that? I'm ethical. Correct. He said, I'm a spiritual person. All that you have to do is what, sir? Just be unselfish. No. All that you have to do is what in life? Be unselfish. That's all it is. Be truthful. Be honest. Or you. One phone call comes, you tell your wife, hey, I tell him I'm not there. Huh? And then what truth you're talking about? No, sir, but practically, I know why he is calling. And I know why he is calling. He is calling only to ask for money. I don't want to give. If I tell him I don't want to give you money, he will feel upset. Therefore, I'm telling what? You can justify, but what you are telling actually. Suddenly you switch to practical. Suddenly you switch to this side. See, we just use words without having a clarity in terms of what the word means. So it's a fashion now to say certain words. Like we nowadays you can't say pet parent is what you are supposed to use. They are pet parents, not the owner, the dog. He is my son, he is my daughter. You can say that. Why? It's nothing to do with. It's to do with what? In my days, boomer means what? I heard only boomer. This means what? A chiclet. Bubble gum used to have, no? Bubble gum is what boomer. Today, boomer is what? Different words today. Imagine in 80s, if I would have used the word boomer to refer to my grandfather, to refer to my uncle, who's advising, he is a boomer here. I say, they'll think, what rubbish you are talking. Words will keep changing. But remember, when you are changing a word, you should understand you are changing the word for what reason. Upanishads were using the word moksha. Patanjali uses the word samadhi. Buddha uses the word nirvana. Why? Huh? Each one of them use different words. Moksha, one side. Samadhi, right. Nirvana, another side. Each master will use his own words because he is an expert in that field. An expert in the field changes a word, they are changing that word out of understanding something. And non-experts keep changing the word. When you don't know what is religion, and because you are facing some other problem with the word religion, you are not using the word religion. That shows how dumb you are. It doesn't show any intelligence. You see that? But for understanding purpose, I say philosophy, religion, spiritual, put in one category. See, like I did mention to you, management means what? Even law, economics, all that falls under the category of management. See, your leadership, self-help, this one, that one, all this, SAP, this, that, all that you are calling, everything will fall under that one bracket called management. Similarly, we have this psychology. And then you have morals, ethics, values. Then you have philosophy, religion, spiritual. But we have the problem with the word religion today. But remember, word is not a problem. The problem is with our social condition. Because of the social conditioning, it has been painted like that. Without understanding what is the word meaning. It's like I have a problem with technology, sir. I don't have problem with science. Fellow says that means what? He doesn't understand technology. He doesn't understand science. Both he doesn't understand. And I am not religious. I am spiritual. What do you mean? What do you know about religion for you to say that you are not religious? What do you know about spiritual to claim that you are spiritual? If you live an ethical life, you mean you are a spiritual guy. You are an ethical person. That's about it. That's not spiritual. Who called it as spiritual? Oh, such a famous fellow called it. Just because he is famous, he is correct. Huh? If somebody who is famous claims, can you call him? On what basis? Don't accept anything just because it is stated by someone who is popular. Don't accept something just because it is handed down from the past. Don't accept something just because it is being followed by the majority. This is advice of Buddha. Then what to do, sir? Accept the thing which confers to the logic and reason and benefits one and all. That concept you accept. So first it has to be logical and it has to be beneficial to one and all, to everyone. Only then it can accept it. Don't accept things just like that. Even what I am saying also. You think about it. The hierarchy I gave you, training, management, what I say? என்னமோ சொன்னேன். Psychology, ethics, philosophy. Think about it. Find out, is the hierarchy in terms of gross to subtle? Is it getting subtler and subtler and subtler, or it is not? If it makes sense, take it. If it is not making sense, reject and walk out. It doesn't matter. But don't accept without examining. Don't reject without examining. It should be logical. Also, it should benefit one and all. A concept should benefit one and all. Then you take it. So these are the two criteria given by Buddha. All other criteria he goes on rejecting. Because it is said by someone who is popular, because it is said by somebody who is good, because it is said by a lot of people, because it is handed down by generations. All that you reject. Not because of this, not because of this, not because of this, not because of this. Then on what basis? He gives 2 points as a reference. The basis of logic and reason and beneficial to one another. If it is, take, or else leave. Right. See you guys.